All right, ladies. So I have a video that is dedicated to you. This come by request from someone in the comment section underneath my Tommy Lauren reply video. I guess you could say a response video when I said something along the lines of if a man is not quick to make plans with you, or if he texts you in the beginning but then again stops texting you, that he's not into you. I had a young lady ask me how to know when someone is not into you. I guess we take this for granted, some of us who can basically take the hint, but it looks like there's a lot of people who can't take the hint. Plus, I said that I was going to make a video exclusively for women, and the last video ended up being for women and men. And if you really want to think about it, this video can also be for guys too. But ladies, I am dedicating it to you. So I will be addressing this a lot to you as well, but men can enjoy this video as well. So we're going to go over more than 7 signs because I have another web page. I was looking through all of the videos, or should I say the pages that will talk about the signs that he's not into you. And I thought there was a lot of trash blogs out there, but this one seemed to be good along with another one. So let's go into it. So it's going to be more than 7 signs, by the way. So let's go over the first one. Is he's not around you. Now this is actually easy to detect, where during the day a man will want to be around someone else, or he always have an excuse of being around other people, but he can be around you at night alone in your bedroom. You know what I'm saying? I've had some women in the past. I go back to my college days where one of the most popular guys on campus was cheating on his girlfriend with another girl, and he would never speak to her during campus days when we were out in the yard. If he would pass by her in the lunchroom by our lunch table, he would not even look her away, nothing. He would just avoid eye contact and wouldn't even acknowledge her presence. But at night, like when his girlfriend was in study hall or when she was at a sorority meeting, he would basically throw a rock at her window and like ask to come up. And even then he would have this big old hoodie and hat on so people won't even recognize him. So I mean, this is just goes to show you, like, when you like someone and you really enjoy their company, and it could be platonic, you want to be around them because you enjoy their company. They make you feel good, they make you laugh. You just like being around them because they're entertaining. They like to do the things you're doing. But if you really have no interest in someone, and vice versa, they have no interest in you, they don't want to be around you. Especially, this goes with negative people. Like, if you're negative or you're just a downer, I don't want to be around you. I'll stay away from you. And it strictly doesn't have anything to do with intimacy or being platonic. It's just who you are as a person. So this is just another one. This is just a given. They don't want to be around you except for select times, and even then, it's not around other people. So the next one would be he's not interested in a conversation. Now, I would have to put an asterisk here, because some women talk a lot of nonsense, and I have a very nice acquaintance. I don't call her my friend because she talks a lot of gibberish. She talks about stuff that I'm not interested in, like the Instagram models and Kim Kardashian and who's wearing this and who's wearing that, and oh my God, did you see this in reference to celebrity gossip? These are people I don't care about, nor do I know. And that's all she want to talk about. She want to talk about like the top TikToker, the top Instagram model, the top Instagram drama. I don't care about these things, you know? And then again, let's be on this flip side. I'm very interested in politics. So I guess she would never want to have a conversation with me in reference to politics, because these are two things we don't have in common. So we don't talk. Every now and then, like we'll exchange emails, or I'll send her a text message. You know, if her cat is feeling a little under the weather, asking her how her little kitty cat is doing, this and the other. But as far as us having a conversation, no. Now, why do I have her as a friend? Well, she's good to bounce ideas off of, actually. So if I come with a problem, and because she's not attached to anything dealing with my business, she's really good to come up with solutions to certain ideas. I mean, she's perfect. But other than that, I don't want to have no conversation about it. I don't pick up the phone. We have nothing in common outside of that. So I would have to say that it depends on the person. Also, like, if a man could like you but could just not be interested in the things that you want to talk about. And sometimes men are so patient. Oh my God, they will sit there and listen to women go on and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh God, as a woman, I can't handle it. So, God bless these men who can sit through these conversations. So I would say this is not always the case. This is not always the case, but it just depends, okay? All right, now, here we go. He talks to you like a friend. If someone is into you, they're going to talk to you as if they're interested in you as a couple. So they will talk to you about plans for you and that person. For example, let me just use example. I'm better at using examples. So let's say, for instance, he's talking to you about places to go on vacation, but he's not talking about places to go on vacation with you. Or he wants to get your advice on how to deal with a family situation or his friends, all right? But he doesn't want to talk about, anything he has in common with you. So it's like talking to a neighbor. If he's having conversations with you in reference to, like, you're having a conversation with your neighbor, a neighbor you're not trying to get down with, somebody who's just having a platonic relationship with, a friendship with, nothing, no eye contact, no like getting close and rubbing your shoulders, body contact, sitting next to you, and basically talking to you intimately or even flirty, then no, he's just talking to you like a regular friend, like maybe even someone who's like a pet in a way, but not so affectionate. So that's another one too, is a way like talks to you like a friend, if he talks to you at all. And this is another one too. This is the one I wanted to talk in reference to the second page I have here, where he tells you about the girls he likes. Now, women, you have this bad. You tend to, if you're with a guy who's dating other girls, and I totally get it. You're like, all right, you're going to date a guy who is also dating other women, but you are dating him in hopes that he chooses you. Now, here's the deal. You have to have a time limit on it. And when I say a time limit on it, meaning that a time limit to see if you're worth being monogamous for. Now, once again, I keep saying this in other videos to women, that you cannot turn a man who's happy being in poly relationships. You can't turn him monogamous. If he doesn't want to be monogamous, you cannot think that your WAP, all right, is going to make him monogamous. So you got to let that go, and you have to understand if a man is that way or not. So you have to ask him just straight out. Are you the type to be with one woman? Are you a loyal? Are you devoted to a relationship? Are you monogamous? And if he says, well, it depends on the woman, but I got a lot of things. I mean, just look, listen to his words, but really look at his action and see if he's ever been monogamous with someone, and then ask how long. They'll tell you the truth. How long has been your longest relationship, and were you faithful to her? You never cheated on her? You have to ask these qualifying questions, because if not, when you're dating, in the dating phase, and he's with other women, if he is monogamous, and out of the other 2 or 3 women he's dating along with you, if you end up being someone worth dropping the other 2 to 3 women for, he will do it If he doesn't, move on, honey, because then he'll sit up here and complain to you about the problems he's having with his other women. This happened. Now, by the way, all of this is going back to my college years, like my college years when I was with my dorm mate, and she kept complaining about how this guy she was actually sleeping with, and she was dating, but he was dating other girls in college, basically was just complaining to her about how to handle those other two women. It was like, girl, are you crazy? What's going on here? Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't sit up here and like, you are not here to be his relationship coach for his other women. You need to draw the line. You need to draw the, and the fact that he is open to talk to you about the problems he's having with his other women. He has, not only he's not that really interested in you, but he has no respect for you, and you don't have any respect for yourself if you sit there and let another man tell you about his problems, or even his conquest, or even his excitement with other women. Like, dude, like, have some respect for yourself. That right there, I could never understand how these women allow, and I don't know if men will allow this. That's the thing I don't have any experience with, is having a male friend or knowing a male that would allow another woman to talk to him about her other male partners or men that she's dating. I'm like, I can't relate to that at all. So it's something I never heard men do, but men put up with, but I'm sure they have. I just don't know any. But I do know a couple of women who have allowed men that they were dating, that they were seeing intimately, talk to them and complain to them or ask for advice about the other women they were seeing. So body language is a good one. I was talking about this earlier, like, does he sit next to you? Like, if you was to go to a booth and you sit on one end of the booth and he sits on the other end of the booth, does he look you eye to eye? Does he look into your eyes? Does he actually look into your face? When you are around him out in public, does he walk next to you? Does he want to touch you? Do you hold hands? Do you sit next to each other? Like, do you have to, when you sit down on a couch, here's a good one. Here's a really good one. When you sit down on a couch, even if you're by yourself, let's say, for instance, you're sitting on a couch and he sits down too. Does he sit right next to you, or does he sit a little further distance away from you, as if someone else can sit in between you? So there's a one person space in between you and him. And then you got to say, why are you sitting over there, silly? Come on over here. Sit next to me. I mean, a lot of body language. One of the things that I've witnessed, and this hurt one of my best friends, and she's still my best friend to this day. One of the things that broke her heart was every time she was very much in love with a guy, and whenever they took pictures, she would put her arm around him, but he would keep his arms down, and then he would have this screwed up looking expression on his face. Now, when he would take pictures with his buddies, he would have his arms around their shoulders. When he would take a picture with his mom, he would have this big old smile on his face. He has a very nice smile. So when he would take pictures with his buddies, we would compare the pictures of when he would take his pictures with her versus when he would take pictures with his mama or with his buddies or even with his sister. It's a totally different expression and body language, night and day. So the way he would take pictures with my best friend is totally different when he would take it with family members and friends. It was painful. It was like he had this painful expression on his face, but he just showing teeth, and he would not hug or put his arm around my friend at all in the picture. It was as if he did not want it documented that it was more than just a friend, even though he would be around her all the time, and they would go out on dates, and they would go to the movies, and they would be seen together, and she brought him around me, and they were, you know, basically laughing together and have fun together. But when it came to taking pictures, he wasn't having none of that. And so that's something that I told her. I said, I don't think he's into you like you think he is. And so they had a long talk, and come to find out that that was true. He didn't want to move that serious to start taking pictures. And I didn't know it was that serious, that you don't want to take pictures with someone and you appear to be a couple. So look at the body language. Are they looking into your eyes? Are they sitting next to you? Do they want to touch you? Do they want to, do they want to sit next to you to the point where they underneath you? You know, how much distance do they put between you and themselves when you're sitting down on a couch, or sofa, or when you're walking down the street? You know, body language tells a lot. And another one is cancel plans. This is something I see women do a lot. So I really can't say I've seen men. I don't know if I had any experience. I know I personally haven't had any experience, but I don't think I had any female friends of mine had any experience of men canceling plans on them. But I have had many of my male friends have shady women cancel plans on them. They will basically make plans for a date on a particular day, and they'll do it way ahead of time. They'll do it like 3 days ahead of time. That person or that woman will confirm, and then the day of, not the day before, the day of, she cancels. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry, but I can't make it. I'm like, my mom is like having like her pains, and it's like, and then all of a sudden he does it again. She cancels again. And I was like, look, dude, get rid of her. I said, she keeps canceling on you. And I don't do the 3 strikes you're out rule. My thing is, I told him that if she cancels a date on him twice and it's some crazy BS excuse, get rid of her. Just get rid of her. You don't need her, dude. Just dump her. So that's another thing. It's like, if someone wants to be around you, they will respect your time, and they will respect your effort to set aside a day for you two to be together. When someone cancels you for a really lame excuse at the last minute, they're not into you, but they also don't respect you. Get away, run away, big time. Also, oh God, I gotta tell you guys a story on the flirting thing. I remember when I was in high school, and I remember my friend at the time named Natasha. I'm not gonna say her last name because just in case, I don't know if she got married or not. Because I probably will call her out, and she'll probably be like, I can't believe you. I thought you bring up my name. Anyway, my girl Natasha and we went on a double date. And her boyfriend at the time was making buku money. I forgot what he did. I don't know if he sold jewelry, or he had something to do with gold and diamonds and pearls and things like that. If he was an investor in that, I'm not sure, but he had a lot of money. Okay, now he decided that he wanted all of us to go out to this nice fancy restaurant where we all would have a nice elegant dinner, and it was beautiful. But I noticed that he would always flirt with the waitress right in front of my friend Natasha. And I didn't, I'm just looking at her like to see if she's going to say anything, to see if she's going to have an expression where she's like, hey, you can't be doing that. I'm like, if she was going to check them, she never checked them. So you know how we women, at that time, women, the code is we got to go to the bathroom. We got to go to the bathroom together. So we got a meeting in the ladies' room. I'll be back real soon. So we went to the bathroom, and I was like, girl, Natasha, what the heck, girl? Are you going to sit up here and let him flirt and disrespect you like that, flirting with that waitress? And she's like, oh, girl, I'm not studying him. He's trying to make me jealous. I was like, trying to make you jealous, dude. He basically is just he's trying to proposition her, dude. Like right there in her face. You need to step in and put a stop to it. Where he's like, what am I supposed to do? I was like, tell him don't disrespect you like that. Well, honey, let me tell you something. We go back to the table. And by the way, FYI, the waitress was loving it. She was loving every minute of this man flirting with her in front of Natasha. Okay, me and my man at the time were just looking at them like, I'm glad it ain't me. You know what I'm saying? Glad it ain't us. That would not have been us. And so, you know what happened towards the end when she brought the tab, right? He was like, I'm paying for everybody. And he took out his wallet and he had all these big bills in there, and she was standing there watching him pull out all his money, and he started like smiling at her. Basically, he wasn't even counting the bills. You know how some people just start like putting the bills from one hand to another? You know what I'm saying? That's what he was doing, just shifting all these big $50 bills and $100 bills from one hand to another with his fingers, you know, bill by bill. And then towards the end, when he basically gave her a big tip, he says, by the way, here's my card. So he gave her his card right in front of Natasha. And I was like, I didn't want to start anything. I didn't start anything because I didn't want her to get angry at me because she told me to mind my business. So, you know what I'm saying? But come to find out, he dumped her the following day. You know what I'm saying? Like when I say dumped her, I mean he ghosted her. He went home with her and basically dropped her back off at our parents' house because we were in high school at the time. And basically the next day he didn't return her phone calls. She by the way, this is the dated time. I'm gonna say something that's gonna date me, but she would page his beeper. He wouldn't return the phone calls, and he just basically ghosted her. Okay, had nothing to do with her, and she never saw him again. She would come up to his job, he was never there. And yeah, that's how it is. And I don't know to this day if he did that to test her or not, but apparently if it was a test, she failed miserably. She failed with a big F minus. So never let someone flirt with another person in front of you unless you're one of these swingers. Then that's different. I'm basically, when I do these videos, I'm doing it to those who are into monogamy. If you're a swinger, if you're into poly relationships, my videos are not going to be for you at all. And so let's go back into this one. We talk about he's open about other women. He doesn't bring you around his friends and family. This is the biggest telltale sign, ladies. He never brings you around his friends and family. Now, I notice women have no problem bringing any and everybody around their mammy, okay? Or pappy, or mammy and pappy. But men are different. If men honor their parents, and if men definitely honor their mom, they will not bring just any woman around their parents or around their friends, because this shows that this is somebody that they're very serious about. So if you never see the parents, if you hear about the parents, you never talk about the parents, you never around the parents, the only time you see the parents is by accident, like you bump into them while you're out, which is rare. But even if it does happen, he will play you down like, oh, this is my friend, blah, 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 as if you're casual friends. But if you never meet the parents, if you have had no intentions of meeting the parents, especially if you're in a serious relationship, you know where you stand. You know where you stand. If you're in a relationship, a serious relationship, and you still don't meet the parents, Okay, you meet the friends, but you don't meet the parents. If he's on good terms with his parents, by the way. If he's on good terms with his parents and you don't meet them, baby. You are not the one. That is a good one. I've never been wrong about this. Like I said, unless he is not close to his parents or his parents are passed away. But even if his parents have passed away, there is a guardian. There is an adult that is more like a mentor or like a father or like a mother to him. It could be his auntie, somebody he adores, loves, and cherishes like a family member. If you don't see that person, then, saying he's not really into you. All right, another one is he tries to change you. This is a good telltale sign too, is that he wants you to get lip injections. He wants. I used to have an acquaintance who had a very heavy Boston accent, which I loved the Boston accent. I really did. But she was seeing this guy who wanted to take her to dialect class or get her to a dialect coach to get rid of her accent. And he would bug her about it because he hate her accent. I guess he was a little ashamed of it. But when you have someone who's trying to change the way you dress, you look, the way you behave, those things, he's just trying to change you, then, he's really not into you. He's trying to, but let me just say this. I have to defend men on this one right here. I don't really notice that it's men trying to change women unless the man is superficial. I do know, and I have friends to this day, right now, who are guilty of this, trying to change their men. Ladies, this is something you have. And listen, here's the thing. They're into their men. It's not like, this is supposed to be like, he's not that into you. No. They are into their men. They're just trying to change their men. Or maybe they could be halfway into their man and they're just trying to make them into a fixer-upper. They got their man as is, but they trying to upgrade him by adding different new parts to the person. To him. You know what I'm saying? No. I see this a lot. I see a lot of women trying to change their men, trying to change how they behave, how they act, how they dress, how they think, how they talk, all kinds of things they're trying to do, what kind of car he's driving, where he's living. I see this more with women trying to change men than vice versa. I have to be honest about that. And women, listen, stop getting these fixer-upper men. I think that's a bad thing. You should not get a man as if he's a pet project. That's something that you need to stop doing. I can't. I'm gonna go on a rant. So let me just leave this alone. Let me just say this. If he's trying to change you or you're trying to change him, just stop that. And last but not least, the relationship is more physical than emotional. And that should be a given right here, to where you only get to see each other when it's time to do that bow chicka wow wow meow 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 chicka bow 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 chicka bow bow. You know what I'm saying? He's even then like if you get a guy who just wants to see you, and then he sees you at night, and then as soon as he finished what he got to finish, he's like, pew! I have a friend, unfortunately she's no longer here anymore, she passed away, where she would complain about a guy that she was quote unquote dating, and he would come and see her in the evening, take her out, and then it's always take her out, dinner, and then of course going back to her place to, do the horizontal mambo, right? And then once he's finished, he'll go take a shower and he'll leave. Like, no, he wouldn't leave he wouldn't leave like rudely. He would just kiss her on the cheek and then just go. Say, I'll see you next time with this, any other, whatever, and he'll leave. And so she was asking me, like, what can she do? Because he says he always got to leave to go to work in the morning. That was always his excuse. So I was like, well, why don't you just see him on the weekends when he's not working? And then she was like, well, sometimes he have a project, or, it was just a bunch of lies. We know what was going on. So I said, if you really want to keep him from leaving, first of all, I'd say you should get rid of him. But if you feeling yourself, if you feel that you're falling in love with him, then how about this? Promise to have a nice breakfast for him. So say, for instance, find out what his favorite breakfast food is, and then promise to cook him breakfast, or do something, saying in the bedroom that's going to keep him there longer than what you normally stay in there for. But overall, see if you can promise him breakfast. And she did, and he did stay, actually. But guess what? She got tired. She got tired of cooking him breakfast, and look, when the breakfast stopped, he was out of there at 5 o'clock in the morning, baby. He was. But anyway, the moral to the story is, if he's only interested to being around you for that, and he knows that it's going to come towards the end, knowing that no matter what he does, whether he takes you out to McDonald's or he takes you out to a nice restaurant like Carrabba's or something like that, or a very nice Italian restaurant, or sushi bar, it doesn't matter what he does. He knows that you two are going to get down in the bedroom afterwards. And so therefore, that's always a guarantee for him. So it doesn't matter. And after that, he's ghost. He's not meeting you just to talk. He's not meeting you just to go to the movies. If it's have nothing to do with physical anything, then he's not up for it. And so you have to understand, if that's all he's wanting you for, he's not that into you. Okay. All right. I think that's basically it. So if you have anything you want to add to this list, let me know. If you have any comments to any of the things I've said, or you would like to share your own stories, I would love to hear them in the comment section below. So this is Tree from treeoflogic.com, and thank you so much for looking at my video. If you like what you see and heard, please give this video a thumbs up. It really does help me with the algorithm. Also share it if you like it, and I will see you all next time. Later, taters.